You need to learn a combat sport. You have to. It's non negotiable. Boxing, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Muay Thai, what do they all have in common? They turn your body into a living weapon. They boost up your confidence and they make you strong. So, before I ever got into combat sports, I was basically a loser. Now, every time I would get into a confrontation, I would get that anxiety, you know. And I remember once I actually got into kickboxing, that fear went away. Obviously after a little bit of practice, but it does go away. Not that it doesn't exist, but you have a plan. You have a game plan. You know what I mean? You're not just going in there willy-nilly, swinging wildly, just, like this moment you're going to be like a fucking anime character that all of a sudden your hidden power just appears and you fucking stick the guy and knock him out. Obviously, if you don't know what you're doing, you're at a huge disadvantage. Straight up. So, as a man, we all have thought about the possibility of being involved in the fight. I don't care who you are. We've all had moments where someone got up in our face, maybe talk some shit, message us on social media, run in their mouth. And yeah, you could get into a fight. It can happen. So how do you get rid of that fear? How do you stop being scared of getting into a fight? Go to a boxing gym. Start going to a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gym. Go sign up for karate, taekwondo, Muay Thai, I don't care. Even taekwondo will help you build that confidence up. Because at least you're training something, you know? So, I have a list of things here that are positives. So, obviously you don't want to face the humiliation of losing a fight. So, whenever you don't know, before you ever get into boxing, before you ever get into this stuff, you kind of go like the pushover route. I remember before knowing all this stuff, moments where I should have stood up for myself. Instead, the passive option where you just bow your head, don't say anything, feel like a bitch, you get punked out. That's not a good feeling. It makes you look like a fucking bitch, basically. Because some dude just fucking dogged on you, And you don't want to get dogged on. Come on, let's be real. And we all have that fantasy of just fucking, that person that talks crap to you, that you just, fucking hit them and they drop to the floor and everyone's like, holy shit, he just dropped that guy. You're a fucking badass, bro. We all have that fantasy, but you can do that. But you got to do the training first. I mean, even, if you have the fear that you threw yourself into fights and you just learn to be like a street fighter, that also will kill that fear. I mean, once you've been in a few of them, you could get into more. It's not your first rodeo type shit, So, I'll talk about how my life changed after the before and after. So yeah, like I said before, I was a pushover. I remember being in school, just, when someone would push me around that was bigger and stronger, I really didn't have many other options because I was like, yo, if it turns physical, they're probably going to beat me. It's going to be fucking humiliating. Everyone's going to talk about it. There's going to be a video. Someone's going to record me getting my ass whooped. Some bullshit like that. And that's usually why you choose the passive option, honestly. Like let's be real, It's because you don't want to it's easier to face that shame in the moment than some video of you going around getting your ass kicked in school or whatever, or at work, or by a family member. So basically, I remember there was a point where this kind of time, I remember it was when I started my running journey. I used to play like sports, soccer, that was like my first taste of athleticism. But I got really into running, like long distance and stuff. And so after getting into running, I remember there was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym in my town. I remember going to the gym and going for a couple weeks. I've been holding that in. I remember I went for a couple weeks to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. And I remember being really scared. You're going to be scared your first time going into a gym because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're a noob. You already know there's going to be people there that are like excellent fighters. But they're going to teach you everything. They don't care that you're new. They're happy that you're showing an interest. Don't be afraid. Back to the topic. So I remember going to those first couple weeks. And to be honest, I'm really not a big fan of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know how useful it is. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. But I did meet people there. So after the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there'd be guys that were into boxing, kickboxing, people that trained other martial arts, and they would kind of use the gym to spar with each other, throw some hands. And that really interested me. I wanted to know how to throw hands, throw kicks, throw punches, knees, elbows, how to use footwork, striking abilities. So I met a couple guys that were really cool. I watched them spar. I was like, yo, you got to teach me this stuff. Like, can I spar with y'all? And, little by little, I started learning little techniques from them. We would hit the punching bag. I started learning kicks. And let me tell you, my confidence before and after that, before I remember being, really weak, having just not, a strong mental, complex. And I remember afterwards, and plus, you get beat up, but in a good way. Oh, you're afraid to take a punch? Well, when you spar someone, you're going to get punched. But it's not a humiliating punch where you're getting beat up. You get hit, you learn how to take the hit, roll with the hit. And then, I should keep my hands up. It's a learning experience. It's a good punch, And you're hitting the other guy, too. And obviously there's headgear. There's boxing gloves. You're not fucking bare-knuckle boxing. Now, there is some sparring partners that can go pretty hard, but, that's just don't spar with someone who's like that. But 90% of people are good sparring partners. They're respectful. But yeah, the confidence thing, afterwards, even if you go for 2 weeks to boxing, you're going to be walking around, basically almost waiting for someone to fuck with you. It's weird. It's I hope someone fucking tries me. Don't you want to feel like that rather than being scared to get into a confrontation? Wouldn't you rather feel oh, I hope someone tries me so I can, bop them they won't know what's coming. I've been practicing this right hook, and yeah, once you spar and you get it down, get your technique down, you could be good in as little as a month or two. Now, I'm saying good relative to the average person to what you were before. I'm not saying you're fucking Conor McGregor or some shit. But compared to the average person that doesn't know how to fight, even like 2 weeks of training, I mean, it's gonna put you like miles ahead of that person. Even like a few days, I would say. If you spent like 3 or 4 days training, if it was you and someone else and y'all never fought each other and y'all had like the same like build, weight, take 2 people, train the other guy for a few days, the other guy no training. The other guy for a few days is at least gonna know some very basic blocking, striking, hooks, staying out of the other guy's distance, super basic footwork, just basic things, and he's gonna have like a better. And that's the thing, like, the fact that if you do get into a confrontation, you're not subconsciously bitching out. You stand on your fucking principles because you have the training to back it up. You're like, oh, I am going to fucking say some shit back, or I'm not going to let this guy push me around, because what's the worst that's going to happen? Something physical, right? Oh, they push you, they try to punch you, they try to grab you, and you're like, if it comes to that, I have the tools necessary to deal with this guy. Versus before that, you're just kind of betting on like that, yeah, like in an anime, like, oh, you just you just landed that one punch that got him, oh, something just came out, like your anger, your rage, you just, fucking, you went ultra instinct all of a sudden, and that's just cope, like, you're gonna look like a fucking idiot if you ever do that. I mean, you're just not gonna know what to do, man. I don't know how to say it. Basically, you're not capping. You're not capping. Like, you can't like, oh, I'm gonna whoop your ass, or what? When you're fucking with someone, or like you're like talking shit with someone, like, it just makes you subconsciously like more of a fucking man because you're not capping. You can back up your words with physical force. Now, I'm not saying go looking for fights, like, I'm serious, like, but subconsciously you feel like, yo, I can whoop this dude's ass if I want, and you probably could, because you know that you know what to do, and so, okay, here's some more positives. So it helps build discipline, so showing up every day, training, getting stronger. Not only does it strengthen your mind, and it strengthens your will, your determination, your courage. You become more fearless. It's one of the best things that you can do in your life to improve it. It is one of the fastest, this is one of the fastest, easiest ways to just go up like two levels, like straight up. Like, your life will, like, if you're like here, if you're here, you start training like one of those sports, you're literally gonna like go up to here, straight up. You'll feel the difference. You'll feel it. People will notice it too. So yeah, I mean, like, it increases your discipline. You're more likely to follow through with stuff, work harder. It's the same concept as, going to the gym, lifting, running, sports. Helps build up that discipline because you got to show up. You get physical, you exercise, you train your mind. I'm just going to be real, like, it really does help your mental health. You feel so much better. And after every session, like, you just feel so much better mentally. You feel like you just conquered, I don't know, like you just scaled a mountain or something. You just got beat up, tossed around, you beat someone else up, you got physical, you learned a couple things, you learned how to improve your form, like, you learned a little trick, whatever, oh, do this, and you'll get more in your punch. There's so many little things that you can learn, and I'm going to be honest, every single time I train, I learn something new, straight up. I notice a new thing that I learn every single time, even if you go 100 fucking times and do the same shit. There's little tiny optimizations that change, like, that add a little bit more power or a little bit more speed or more protection, it's a whole rabbit hole. Um, so yeah, it builds bonds and brotherhood. So yeah, the people that you meet in these gyms, the people that you meet practicing these sports, I mean, you're gonna have to get physical with someone up close. Trust me, like, they're always super nice. You're like, hey, my name is this. If you're having trouble making friends or meeting positive people, go to one of these gyms. You will make friends so fast. You will make friends within like a day or two. You'll meet like a couple people there that are cool. They talk to you. They're like, oh yeah, I'm from here. I've been training here for so and so months. Nice to meet you. You talk, you connect, and you build that bond. You're beating on each other, and it makes for great friendships. It really does, because it increases both of y'all's respect, and it's someone that you can respect. Like, wow, you helped me get stronger. I helped you get stronger. We're getting stronger together. We're on the same team, and everyone's there for the same reason. They're there to for all the reasons I'm talking about. They're there to strengthen their mind, their body, become dangerous. They're there to just improve in general. And even if you don't plan on being in a fight, just do it, man. Like, go for like 3 months. It'll change your life. Less than that, 1 month. So yeah, body exercise. So fighting is kind of like dancing. And I've, some research on dancing and fighting. If you're someone who's kind of stiff and awkward, like, the way you stand, the way you walk is a bit awkward and stiff, the way you move around. Fighting or dancing does the same thing. It loosens up your body. You'll do movements that you never thought of. And it really does loosen you up. You become more relaxed. Your body, your posture gets better. You become more lean, more fit. Your endurance skyrockets. The physical benefits are just another cherry on top. I mean, we're just stacking benefit after benefit. Like, that's why I'm telling this to you guys. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you don't do a combat sport like boxing, kickboxing, BJJ, wrestling, like, you're missing out. You're playing the game of life without... It's like a whole DLC that you're not even, like, going into, Like, you're just... There's no point in skipping it. If you truly believe in YOLO, you gotta do this. Like, trust me. Every man has to do this at least once. Okay. So, the ladies love it. I can attest to that. Girls really like when they find out that you're into boxing, that you go and train a combat sport, and obviously human psychology. It doesn't take... It's a no-brainer. I mean, being able to protect your girl is very attractive, to girls. If I was a girl, I would obviously want my boyfriend to know how to protect me. And I really wouldn't want to be with a guy that is kind of like a wussy, that couldn't defend himself or even defend me. And what if... No, come on, let's be real, guys. Like, what if you're with your girl in public and some dude comes up and slaps her ass? What are you gonna fucking do? Like, guys, there's situations like that. There's situations where you're with your girl and someone gets up in your face. There's guys that try to test you. Straight up. Guys test all the time. Guys try to disrespect you. Guys try to, like, say some, like, fucking off-the-wall shit, to get a reaction out of you. They try to see if you're going to stand up for yourself. It happens all the time. We've all been there. You'll see it in school. You'll see it in workplaces. Guys will throw little disrespectful things in your face to see if you're going to stand up for yourself. Like, and that's the thing. Learning this stuff helps you stand up to that. And you're going to get so much more respect, guys. I'm telling you. your respect level is going to go up and up and up. Like, girls are going to respect you more, guys are going to respect you more, your family, you know, people in general. And I honestly do believe it makes you a better person. Most people I know that do this stuff don't leave the gym trying to go beat someone up for no fucking reason. If you're like that, you've got some serious problems. I don't see why you would want to go just fuck someone up for no reason, but hey, to each their own, you know, if that, it's not my life, bro. Anyways, so if I haven't convinced you, there's even more benefits than that, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'll have to make more videos regarding this, but yeah, you know, oh, one more point that I wanted to bring up. If you don't have a gym, you can buy a pair of boxing gloves off Amazon, go to Target, or I mean Academy, buy boxing gloves, buy, you know, do shadow boxing, watch YouTube videos, just start off there. Start off doing shadow boxing in your house, watch a professional boxer tutorial, throw some punches, work on your form, look in the mirror, get a punching bag. I don't know, dude, there's guys that punch freaking trees. Bro, when I first started, I would go outside and I would punch a tree. Now, I wouldn't punch it as hard as I could, but I was just using the tree as like a target, like for distance. I was just tapping the tree, you know, just imagining that it was a person or whatever, you know. I've seen dudes take like sticks and like wrap like pillows and blankets on it with like tape and like punch that. You know, all sorts of stuff, man. Like, yo, if you really have it in your heart, like, and you can find other dudes to spar with, even dudes that don't go to the gym, there's guys that like to do little street beefs, street fights, you know. I have met so many friends that didn't know how to fight either. But I was like, hey, man, I got a pair of gloves. If you ever just want to go in the backyard and just, you know, throw some hands, like, friendly, not like malicious intent or whatever. And you know, they agreed, and you know, we would like box each other. Obviously, we didn't have no instructor or nothing. We didn't have no like instruction. We're just learning with each other, learning from scratch. But it still gives you all those benefits. You're gonna naturally learn little things, even boxing with someone who has no experience. Y'all are both gonna notice improvements, straight up. When you start out, have someone take a video of you sparring your first time or second time. Like, and then after a week or two, take another video. You will see so much of a difference, literally just in a week or two. Like, that first video, you're like looking timid, you're like, you know, kind of like throwing some weird like bullshit that you don't even, you'll be cringing. I ain't even gonna lie, you'll be cringing. You'll be like, bro, I look, that does not look good. And then that 2 week video, you're like, damn, you know, like my form looks so much cleaner. Like, I'm faster. I'm actually, you know, I'm actually like bobbing and weaving. I'm ducking. I'm throwing hooks. I'm throwing combos. Guys, please, please do not live your life without doing this. You are doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your girlfriend a disservice. If you miss out on this, you're just living life in black and white. Come on, live a rich life and get out there and go make some friends and get strong, you know? Become dangerous. Anyways, guys, I'll let you go, but this is something I'm really passionate about, and I will be making more videos talking about this because it is so important that you get out there and just start training something, man. Anything. Alright, well, take it easy, guys, and see you on the next one.